Good evening, everyone. My name is Marissa, and I'm one of the board members for Shay's Warriors. We are so excited tonight to have a wonderful practitioner on our Talk, Listen, and Share. Her name is Kim, and Kim is a holistic health practitioner here in La Quinta. She has over 20 years of experience. What's really great about Kim is she attends to all parts of a person. So their physical, their emotional, their cognitive, and spiritual self. Kim is certified in oncology massage, and she has such a passion for so many different complementary therapies. So exercise, prayer, yoga, aromatherapy, and intentional self-care through body work and also skincare. So tonight, Kim is going to share more about her practice, her passion, and also for all of you, how to receive body work after life, after cancer, what you can expect, how you can feel more comfortable. And we're going to finish this Talk, Listen, and Share off with a demo, and just so you can understand on when you are going to get a massage or receive body work, what's going to make you feel the most comfortable. So I'm really excited to have her on tonight, and I'm going to turn the camera over to Kim just to share more about herself and her practice.
Hi. Glad that you're all here tonight, and today I'm going to have Angela as a model. And oncology massage is a certification that I went after 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Sorry, I'm not specific on the time. We had a little weird time in between there for everyone, so we skip a few years in our mind sometimes. But I got to the liking of taking on continuing education units as a regular, and Shay was a friend of mine when she went through her cancer journey, and the more we talked about the benefits for self-care, the more I got interested in wanting to know if there was more training available and how I could educate myself to further understand, not just from a friend giving self-care via massage after radiation, after chemo. I wanted to know if there are more therapists out there. Do they do this during the treatments? In school you learn that there are many contraindications for what you give. And as a student, I remember feeling very nervous that I would get out into the massage world and I'd have somebody with cancer on my table, and it would spread everywhere if I touched them or something. And rest be assured that that is not the case unless you were to dig into a mass or something. But it's one of those things that now after the certification, I learned that you can receive massage at all points, before, during, and after. And most important is to be able to guide people in just the importance of touch and touch therapy, healing hands, wheels of light that can really bring a person back to body when they're completely shooken and outside themselves from their past normal self. And oncology massage has only been around for really 15 years or something. It's not really been, I think it's 2008 is when more studies started coming out. There's no scientific proof for massage therapy or oncology massage within itself. The data just doesn't stand up strong enough scientifically, but the benefits outweigh the science, and how people gain communication with self better from self-care, from massage. Massage for cancer patients is indicated within itself that unless you're experience extreme lymphedema, which is, retention of fluids in that, or that it can accumulate when lymph nodes have been removed. There's also specialists for lymphedema massage as well, but typically those are areas that you can leave out and you can still work the rest of the body. So even in infusion centers, as you're receiving chemo, there are therapists that are certified to give foot massages and hand massages and neck massages. So whether they're loading up their treatment with some Benadryl to knock them out, even if they were, knocked out for those 4 hours, you would still get a benefit from getting, a light foot rub or hand rub while you'd wake up and still feel, like yourself. What else can I say about?
Yeah. How soon after someone goes through treatment can they start getting massage?
I massage clients
during.
Okay. I massage clients in between rounds of chemo, and it's really what's going on actively. If you're sick, fatigued, tired, vomiting, all of those things would be completely contraindicated for receiving massage in the moment. Usually when a client comes in the first time, I donate a lot for Shay's Warriors for the love bombs, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So when I get a love bomb, you get to come here and I get to, get a little questions, in that typically run about, when was your last treatment, and it's more of like you can use medical terminology and you can also use gentler, kinder words that just, when was your last treatment, or are you, in remission, are you active, like we want to know where you stand so that you're comfortable in talking about, because sometimes people are blocked and almost suppressing what they just went through or the scares of it all. And so really there's not a big timeline for when you can. It's a pretty open game unless you're having any mal symptoms.
Okay. What about after having like a double mastectomy? Like how does that play into it in terms of like laying?
So the beautiful part about oncology massage is like there's a lot of pillows and it's all about comfort. It's not just your Swedish massage.
Traditional
it's
massage,
not just,
like what we're used to.
Well, for me it's hard because I hodgepodge so many modalities into one session for body work. That when it comes for oncology, there's quadrants on the body that once you know what side lymph nodes were removed from, you know what drain ducts you go to with the lymphatic system.
I see. Okay.
And so you almost work contralaterally. So there's that, and so that's why Angela and I talked last night, and so I have a bit of a background of how to approach, but it's more about propping, and I certify for yoga, and so there's a lot of restorative yoga poses that you can use in there too, all depending on where they're at. And I mean, having both sides, whether you've done reconstructive breast surgery after or not, there's phantom pains, and there's other areas that might not feel as great being down. So there's towels, bolsters. If you can do sideline position like you would for a pregnancy massage, or for any other post-surgical massage that might need like a knee surgery or something that needs to be propped better. Clients with MS, they need often their lower limbs lifted up very high to continue blood flow, because their circulation kind of dips down a bit with MS. But so you're always
you really tailor it to
you tailor every
client.
single session to each client, just like you would in skincare. It's you've got your basics of how this is about to go down, and well, it might get all backwards for a moment, but eventually you find that flow. And the first session, it's really about just getting comfortable and knowing what the expectations are from the massage. Sometimes it really is just to have downtime and just to feel again, you know. Not every cancer survivor is accompanied. You know, there are plenty of single moms out there that go through cancer. There are plenty of widows and widowers that, you know, go through cancer and they don't have a support system at home to get physical touch. And so this is the good, gentle, you know, healing touch. So
okay, that's wonderful. Any other things you'd want to add before we kind of go through what it would be like to visit you for the first time and kind of taking us through that?
Yeah, I think
process.
that your first you know, is it's an easy overall kind of seamless process. Usually it's just location getting here, and other than that, you know, we go through small intake forms, usually in PDF format, you know, sent via email, and then I have my own soap charts that I take, you know, note of where the body needs attention more and where I need to map out the treatment plan, again, like I would for anyone. So.
Can you come every week? Is it something that you should only do once a month, or again, that really is dependent on
it totally is dependent on the client,
okay.
On, you know, the different scales of where you're at on your cancer journey. And if you know, I like to space out from the first session just to know how the body took and how the mind took, and, you know, make sure we check all the boxes before we, you know, get in the second. But typically when you get done, you want to go ahead and book another one. And I usually kind of reserve and say, you know, I'm going to check in on you in a day or two and just make sure where you're at, and then we'll schedule from there.
That's great.
Do you have to have a doctor's release?
At times you do need a doctor's release. Like any other surgery, in that it's treated more, and ironically a lot of doctors don't sign releases for liability purposes, so it's kind of I don't want to throw anything under the bus. It's a lot of liability for most medical doctors, no matter what, you know, condition it is. It's but if it's something that could be end of life cancer too, like I've done that, and that's, you know, that's hospice care, end of life oncology, and I feel like those are the kind of easier releases that when it's terminal stages of cancer and that. But I don't have to have one specifically to work on anyone, as long as you're signing your own consent form.
Questions? Okay. Well, let's get to the demo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
How long has it been since you've had any body work?
Long time.
Okay.
Probably since before I had babies. That's my last treatment in December of 2016.
Well, in that case, we're going to make sure that we scalp massage, because usually you don't even get that at the hair salon anymore.
It's probably because after treatments, the sensitivity level was to touch was.
Yeah, it affects very differently. Sensitivity to touch, I find that in skincare oncology, there's product sensitivity that, I mean, in a typical facial routine, you can use 8 to 13 products without even blinking, and when every single product kind of burns or sizzles, there's just a waiting period, and all you can really do is just do hydrophilic approach with water and oil. And that's about as natural of a facial cleansing as you'll get. Would you like to use oil or cream or a blend?
Blend.
So never any lymphedema or swelling from the removal of the lymph nodes, right?
No lymphedema. I had a slight swelling in my wrist.
On the left side?
On the left side, but it was not, it was so minuscule. I noticed it because my watch was tighter, but I asked the doctor, I said, oh no, that's not. So usually they say if you have lymph nodes removed, not to have blood pressure taken on that side, and I've never really adhered to that.
Of the blood pressure on the left side?
Yeah,
You're a rebel without a cause, huh? You're gonna
always.
push the limit. So we're just doing some body sweeping, body map here. See if we find anything that we want to come back to. And if you find any areas that feel that you haven't thought about in 6 years, let me know.
Okay.
And the beauty is that you can really just do even over the sheet massage. You don't even have to undress. And there's plenty of benefit in just body sweeping. Lymphatic drainage, manual lymphatic drainage is slower than this. You know, it's that's another modality that is very much on demand as of late. So I don't watch any local news or national news channels, so unless there's a huge disaster happening or Instagram tells me, I don't really know what's going on, and that's a great place to be in. But I do believe that somebody's been talking about lymphatic, because we get a lot of inquiries for lymphatic.
And you can do lymphatic massage all over the body, right?
Yeah. All over. I mean, it's the same draining
All the draining
points. Yeah. But what I find is that most get lymphatic and then come here and think that they're going to get a different lymphatic, and what they end up getting is a little more body work with the lymphatic, and then they're coming back for the body work afterwards, not the lymphatic. Lymphatic massage is a great massage. It's very slow. No lotion, no oil. The lymphatic system itself is slow. So, but it's great for those that need it. Point of the matter is don't buy into everything you hear. But it's okay to try new things too. Definitely okay to come in more frequent than every 6 years.
That's self-care.
So with her lymph node removal on the left side, we're still good to work that area, but we're not going to overstimulate it. We're not going to be complete rebels though either. Angela wants to live on the dangerous side a little. And the massage techniques can still include hands, forearms, elbows. It's generally still just individualized for pressure. Little adjustments are just icing on the cake.
I like what you said too, Kimmy, that if you felt comfortable just being face down, that's quite okay, right? It's whatever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a little spiel I like to do, and it typically goes as you dress down to your comfort level, and I'll adapt, face down, face up, sideways, whatever you need, undergarments on, off. If you would like your back massage, top off is preferred. But at the end of the day, we're in a safe space, but you're still on a table, lying naked with a stranger. So your voice is important. Please use it. There is no ego in my space. So anything that you have to share, critique, communicate, please do. I'm not a clairvoyant. I'd like to think that I am, but I'm not. If I were, I would be somewhere in Bora Bora cashing in that lotto ticket. And it's really like it's a vulnerable spot to be in, massage. And luckily, there's a lot that we've adapted to in society that we're, more comfortable with getting, undressed and still being draped over, and you're not completely out in the open at any point, So it's the quality of good touch improving. Are you doing okay with the pressure?
Right. You thought necessary.
take an intuitive approach, but if it's not enough, I can not tell that. If it's too much, I can usually see when the body is not. It's resisting and squirming. My aim is not to make people rattle their feet because I'm working on it. There's like a comic strip that floats around spas and massage therapy spots and chiropractic spots where it's got, you're in the same position, but the comic is got the therapist over asking if it's deep enough, and the skin is kind of coming off at the same time. So sometimes we feel like we're working really deep and we're not, and that's the part also from after cancer treatments that the body's still sensitive, and if there's memory cells that it might be awakened. So if something doesn't feel right, I gotta know.
I have a voice.
That's right. So we're back. She's still here. How are you doing, Angela?
I'm doing amazing.
What have you felt as I've been massaging? Have you had any reminders for self-care?
Yes,
The importance of taking care of yourself because you cannot serve from an empty vessel?
That's correct. I am going to be doing more self-care, and I've been having those reminders from my dear friends, and this is just the icing to the cake, reminding me that this is so important.
Have you found any spots to be sore, tender? Any areas that maybe caught you off guard that you wouldn't have thought, needed more attention?
Yes, my SI joints, my sacroiliac joints. Didn't realize how sore they were. And then my scapulas, for goodness sakes.
Yeah. Well, all of those shoulder muscles attached to your head, right?
Yes.
And I mean, we are very superior in selves here as women, so we do carry around more information that weighs a lot. And all of those grocery bags that need to go inside at the same time, and heavy bags, purses. So we carry the weight around on our shoulders because that's what moms do.
Yes, and I didn't realize how tender my port spot scar was.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, I don't normally notice it.
So you notice that in the rotation of the shoulder work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe some scar tissue work would be good.
Yeah. Agreed.
You could do some scraping there. That's still allowed too.
What is that?
So scraping or blading, It's breaking up fascia tissue, connective tissue, scar tissue. It sounds real aggressive, but it's like a cross fiber technique that you can use to break down that scar tissue.
Because I was very diligent about, massaging it and doing scar mobilization and using vitamin E oil on my scars.
Yep.
And so that was surprising to me.
I think that there is also, it's just my own intuitive part there that I feel that it carries memory as well, and carrying a port is very uncomfortable, and you get used to that uncomfort, and in me touching that area, it's also kind of a trigger and a reminder. So that's why it's important to talk about it a little bit, because everyone has triggers and traumas and different holding patterns. So that could be that.
And it could be some also that's been only something that I've worked on, and I hadn't had anybody else.
Yeah. It's safe space, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the vulnerability to let go.
Yes.
And we get back to that topic of no ego in space, and safe touch, right?
Yes.
Healing hands, and the art of letting go. You can. And I think that it's an assumptive thought, but that for any cancer warrior, that it's a very deep holding pattern, and no one really wants to let go too soon, because there's always a little creeper back there that maybe. But we'll break down those scar tissues in the meantime. And for anyone that really can't do a lot of full body massage, you can really get into some nice, just relaxing foot massage. It feels great.
It does.
Typically, how long would a treatment be? 60 minutes?
60 minutes, yeah, 75.
Okay.
Yeah. My personal favorites, because I do head to toe treatments, are 2.5 hour treatments. And all the areas are covered, and you can just, spend it where you need it. I can do cupping, and that's totally permissible as well. You just have to be careful of the contraindicated sites, port sites or lymph node sites. But cupping, blading, go right into skincare, and finish with a facial.
I think that's what's really great about you, is that you can really customize all different areas. It's not like you're just coming in for an oncology massage. You're coming in for...
No, and I'm happy to. The longer time I can have with someone, everyone relaxes and lets go differently. So sometimes that's why the talk is important. And then there might be some that need just absolute silence, maybe not even any music. It's each person's needs, and I do find that most want to talk a little bit, and they do relax from just letting that part go, because they're distracted by the rest that's going on. It doesn't mean that they're not taking in the massage, but they might be triggered in certain areas, and it may be better for them to talk.
Angela, any final thoughts from you before we end tonight?
I feel that coming into this room was very, I felt very safe and I felt very comfortable, and I feel I've been so guarded with releasing my emotions regarding my treatments, my cancer treatments, and I feel that I can do that here. I feel safe, and I feel like I'm ready. It's allowed me to be ready to let it go and talk about it. And it's been 6 years, so I think I'm very grateful that I was invited here today.
That's wonderful.
Well, I'm happy that you're here, and this space is always for you whenever you need it. I'll be checking in with you tomorrow. You'll want to make sure that you uptake that water. Maybe not right before bedtime here, but you know, it's good to help flush out the system too.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Kim, for
Thank you.
all your advice and insight, and you're just a lovely person, and I know that many are going to be wanting to come and see you just for your good energy, and this is a beautiful space, so
Thank you. I look forward to seeing all my Shay's warriors.
yes.
I'll be here for you. Come see me.
Thank you.
I'll play music for